The ghost ship of the Great Lakes. The mystery of the Griffin. The Great Lakes, a series of interconnected freshwater lakes located between the United States and Canada, have long been known for their vast beauty, dangerous waters, and rich history of maritime exploration. Among the many ships that sailed these waters, one stands out for its mysterious and haunting story. The Griffin, a French ship that vanished without a trace during its maiden voyage in 1679. The disappearance of the Griffin has become one of the most enduring mysteries in North American maritime history, with legends of the ship's ghostly sightings continuing to captivate imaginations to this day. The Griffin's origins and the age of exploration. The story of the Griffin begins with the ambitions of the famed French explorer René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de La Salle. La Salle was an adventurer and fur trader who sought to expand French influence in the New World, particularly in the regions surrounding the Great Lakes and the Mississippi River. In the late 1670s, La Salle embarked on a grand expedition to explore the western reaches of the Great Lakes and to establish trading routes with indigenous peoples for the lucrative fur trade. To facilitate this exploration and the transportation of furs, La Salle envisioned the construction of a large sailing vessel that could navigate the waters of the Great Lakes. In 1679, his dream became a reality with the building of the Griffin. Named after the mythical creature, the Griffin was a 45-ton bark, approximately 60 feet long, making it one of the largest ships to sail the Great Lakes at that time. Its construction took place near the Niagara River, and the ship was built under the supervision of La Salle's master shipbuilder, Tanguay. The Griffin was not just a symbol of French power and ambition, it was also a technological marvel for its time. With its high, sturdy hull and masts rigged with square sails, the ship was designed to withstand the challenges of the Great Lakes' unpredictable weather and rough waters. La Salle believed that the Griffin would be the key to expanding France's reach in the fur trade and gaining a foothold in the untapped resources of the Great Lakes region. The maiden voyage. On August 7, 1679, the Griffin set sail on its maiden voyage from Niagara with a crew of about 30 men, including La Salle and several of his trusted companions. The ship's destination was Green Bay on Lake Michigan, where La Salle planned to trade with the local Native American tribes and load the ship with valuable furs. This journey marked the first time a European sailing ship of this size had ventured so far into the Great Lakes, and it was seen as a bold and pioneering expedition. The Griffin's voyage began smoothly, and the ship sailed through Lake Erie, Lake Huron, and the narrow straits of Mackinac without incident. Along the way, La Salle and his crew encountered Native American tribes, many of whom were friendly and eager to trade. The journey was a testament to the potential wealth that could be gained from the fur trade, and La Salle's ambitions grew with each passing day. However, as the Griffin approached the open waters of Lake Michigan, the weather began to change. The Great Lakes are notorious for their sudden and violent storms, and the Griffin's crew soon found themselves battling rough seas and high winds. Despite the ship's sturdy construction, the crew became increasingly uneasy as the weather worsened. By early September, the Griffin reached its destination at Green Bay. La Salle and his crew traded with the local tribes, acquiring a large quantity of furs, which were to be sent back to Niagara. La Salle, however, had plans to continue exploring the western shores of Lake Michigan, so he ordered the Griffin to return to Niagara with its valuable cargo, while he and a smaller party continued their overland expedition. On September 18, 1679, the Griffin set sail from Green Bay under the command of La Salle's pilot, a man named Luc, and with a reduced crew of 6 men. The ship was loaded with furs and supplies and was expected to make a relatively straightforward return voyage to Niagara. However, the Griffin would never be seen again. The disappearance. After the Griffin departed Green Bay, it seemed to vanish without a trace. Days turned into weeks, and there was no sign of the ship or its crew. La Salle, who had remained behind to continue his exploration, grew increasingly concerned when the Griffin failed to arrive at its destination. He sent search parties to look for any sign of the missing ship, but they found nothing. The disappearance of the Griffin was both shocking and mysterious. There were no witnesses to the ship's final moments, and no wreckage or bodies were ever recovered. Various theories emerged to explain the ship's fate, but none could be definitively proven. The disappearance of the Griffin became one of the earliest and most perplexing maritime mysteries in North America. Theories about the Griffin's fate. Over the centuries, many theories have been proposed to explain what happened to the Griffin. Some believe that the ship was caught in one of the Great Lakes' notorious storms and was sunk by the violent waves. The Great Lakes are known for their unpredictable weather, and even today, large and modern vessels have been lost to the sudden storms that can arise on these waters. Given the size of the Griffin and the dangerous conditions on Lake Michigan, it is possible that the ship was overwhelmed by a storm and sank to the bottom of the lake, along with its valuable cargo. Another theory is that the Griffin may have been deliberately sabotaged or attacked. La Salle had many enemies, both among rival French traders and among the Native American tribes who were wary of French expansion into their territories. It is possible that the ship was attacked by hostile forces and its crew was killed or captured. Some stories suggest that the Native Americans who lived along the shores of Lake Michigan may have taken the ship's furs and destroyed the vessel to prevent further French incursions into their lands. A more sinister theory posits that the crew of the Griffin may have mutinied and stolen the ship's cargo for themselves. Given the value of the furs on board, it is conceivable that the crew, left without the direct supervision of La Salle, decided to abandon their mission and make off with the riches. According to this theory, the crew could have scuttled the ship to cover their tracks and disappeared into the wilderness. However, no evidence of such a mutiny has ever been found, and the fate of the crew remains unknown. The legacy of the Griffin. Despite the many theories, the mystery of the Griffin has never been solved, and the ship's final resting place remains unknown. Over the centuries, there have been numerous attempts to locate the wreck of the Griffin, but none have been successful. The Great Lakes are vast and treacherous, and any remnants of the ship that might exist are likely buried beneath layers of sediment or scattered across the lake bed. The Griffin has since taken on a legendary status in the folklore of the Great Lakes region. Sailors and fishermen have reported seeing a ghostly ship resembling the Griffin on foggy nights, drifting silently across the waters. These sightings have fueled the belief that the Griffin is a ghost ship doomed to sail the Great Lakes for eternity. Some have even claimed that the ship is cursed, its disappearance the result of a supernatural force that does not want the secrets of the Great Lakes to be uncovered. In addition to the stories of ghostly sightings, the Griffin's disappearance has inspired countless books, articles, and documentaries, all of which attempt to solve the mystery of the ship's fate. The ship has become a symbol of the dangers and uncertainties of exploration, as well as a reminder of the untamed wilderness that once characterized the Great Lakes region. Modern efforts to solve the mystery. In recent years, advances in technology have renewed interest in the search for the Griffin. Underwater exploration, sonar mapping, and remote-controlled submersibles have been used to scour the depths of Lake Michigan and other areas where the ship may have sunk. While there have been some promising leads, including the discovery of a wooden shipwreck in 2014 that some believe could be the remains of the Griffin, no definitive evidence has yet been found to confirm the ship's location. Despite the lack of concrete answers, the legend of the Griffin continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters. The mystery of the ship's disappearance remains one of the oldest and most enduring in North American history, a testament to the challenges and perils faced by the early explorers who ventured into the uncharted waters of the Great Lakes.